In episode 29, Tian Qi and the other two held their breath, not daring to make a sound for fear of disturbing Lord Grimm's battle. At the same time, all three of them remained on high alert, poised to charge in and attack the moment they got the signal. But as they waited, left and right, they saw Lord Grimm locked in a perilous dance with the skeleton warrior. With no sign he intended to call them in for support. Tian Qi and the other two had positioned themselves perfectly, one to the left, one to the right, and one far behind the skeleton warrior, all safely outside the range of its occasional shockwave attacks.
Is he planning to solo it?
Mu Yunshen messaged Tian Qi, saying,
Honestly, I'm a bit skeptical too. Solo the hidden boss.
Just typing out those words sent a chill down Mu Yunshen's spine.
It's not like it's completely impossible. Brother Expert is way too strong. What's his background anyway? With skills like that, I don't think even our guild leader could measure up. Not even close.
Tian Qi concluded. Poor Moonlight Guild's leader, with an APM of just 200, he'd become the object of worship for his entire guild. And yet, after just one day pioneering in the 10th server, 3 traitors had already emerged from the ranks, looking down on their leader with utter disdain. Right then, Qian Shengli sent a message too.
Don't tell me it's a one-on-one duel.
The in-game voice chat is just local, there's no whisper function. If the 3 of them wanted to use voice chat, they'd have to shout to be heard over the distance between them. So, to avoid disturbing the expert who was picking out monsters, they all resorted to sending messages on the sly.
Could be.
Both Tian Qi and Mu Yunshen received Qian Shengli's message and replied together.
That was insane. Should we record it? Brother Expert didn't say we could, so probably not. Right.
Qian Shengli acknowledged. He fell silent. The 3 continued to watch Lord Grimm pull the monsters. That spear of his was wielded with flawless mastery, dodging, weaving, fighting like a scene straight out of a martial arts film. Tian Qi and the others were blown away. Compared to this, the way regular players fought monsters or PK'd was like they were just standing there flexing their pecs. Rough. So damn rough. Chen Guo stood behind Ye Shu, intently counting every successful hit. From a viewing perspective, Chen Guo actually had a worse angle than Tian Qi and the other two. She was stuck in Lord Grimm's first-person perspective, just like Ye Shu. From this angle, she couldn't see much of Lord Grimm's movements. Instead, the constant spinning of his viewpoint was making Chen Guo dizzy. He simply couldn't keep up with the dizzying speed of the on-screen perspective shifts. The view would lurch without warning, leaving him utterly disoriented, unable to tell which way his character was facing or where the skeleton warrior even was. As for the chain attack, he couldn't even keep track of where the skeleton warrior was half the time, let alone coordinate a chain attack. Yet, amidst the chaos that Chen Guo perceived, Yeshu's own actions remained crisp and precise. Dizzy, Chen Guo looked at Yeshu's hands. His left fingers danced across the keyboard, noticeably faster than what she'd seen yesterday. His right hand, gripping the mouse, moved even quicker, but with fewer motions often. A single swift flick was followed by an immediate click of the left or right mouse button. Chen Guo was astonished. Of course she knew the left mouse button was for basic attacks, and the right for skills. The cursor's position on the screen dictated the direction and target of every strike. Ye Shu's movements, whether shifting or clicking, were crisp and decisive, without a hint of hesitation. Looking back at the screen, he noticed that no matter how fast the scene shifted, the mouse cursor would snap to its target and unleash an attack without the slightest tremor. Ye Shu's right hand wasn't just fast, it was steady, exceptionally steady.
Wow, professional skill really is on another level.
Chen Guo marveled, and at the same moment, a faint clink sounded from the headphones hanging around Ye Shu's neck. Chen Guo heard it clearly. That faint sound was the only way he could keep count. 20 hits on the shackle, but Lord Grimm's health hasn't dropped a single point. That means the skeleton warrior hasn't managed to touch him, not even once.
Mu Yunshen, Mountain Shattering Strike.
Ye Shu suddenly ducked his head and shouted into his mic.
Oh, our turn to shine?
Mu Yunshen had thought the 3 of them wouldn't need to step in this time, but the moment he heard Ye Shu shout, he drew his sword and charged forward without a second thought. Lord Grimm's Sky Strike sent the skeleton warrior tumbling toward him. Mu Yunshen met it head-on, his blade rising for a Mountain Breaker strike. He slammed the creature from mid-air down to the ground, unleashing a full 8-hit combo, the absolute limit of the Mountain Breaker.
Block.
Ye Shu's words were still meant as a reminder for Mu Yunshen, but Mu Yunshen had clearly already been thinking the same thing. Ye Shu hadn't even finished speaking before he was already in a blocking stance. The skeleton warrior rose, its shockwave crashing against the blade with a loud clang, shoving Mu Yunshen back. Mu Yunshen's block skill was already at level 4, capable of mitigating 70% of physical damage. That rising shockwave was never a major move to begin with, and the extra 30% damage from that one grid, that's nothing to write home about either. On Ye Shu's side, Lord Grimm had already leapt clear of the shockwave. He immediately countered, striking with Dragon Tooth and stunning the skeleton warrior. On Mu Yunshen's side, he was already on the same page. No reminder was needed for the stun skill. He was poised and ready to strike.
Tian Qi Yansheng Li.
Ye Shu called out. The two were already sprinting forward, instantly grasping the tactical intent, just like Mu Yunshen, their stun skills at the ready.
What's wrong?
Chen Guo was puzzled. Why had Ye Shu suddenly asked for backup?
Didn't you see it?
Ye Shu asked, then had Lord Grimm glance down. Chen Guo immediately spotted the skeleton warrior's longsword lying quietly at its feet. The clasp had been shattered, and the weapon had dropped as loot.
What's going on? Wasn't it 24?
Chen Guo was baffled, even though the headphones were draped around Ye Shu's neck, putting some distance between them and her. That sharp metallic clang had been jarringly distinct during the fight with the skeleton warrior. She was certain she hadn't misheard it.
It was 24.
Then how come I only counted 20?
4 of those were double stabs, so they count as 2 hits each. They were just too fast for you to catch. Add those 4 and you get exactly 24, right?
If you land a double stab twice on the same spot, that should trigger the hidden bleed effect, right? I don't think I saw that happen. 4 attempts, not a single one landed. Does blocking it with the ring not count?
Skeletons are immune to the bleed status, right?
Ye Shu's words made Chen Guo flush bright red. In Glory, many types of monsters are immune to the bleed status effect. Skeletons are one of them. No flesh, no blood. What's there to bleed? That's the whole idea behind the setting. It's basic common sense. Chen Guo, the seasoned player, had actually forgotten for a moment. It was all this guy's fault. With his camera swinging all over the place, she'd lost track of what monster she was even fighting. Chen Guo sat back down at her computer, fuming. Outside the beginner village, the crowds were still thick, and the low-level mobs were still a fight to claim. Just as he was stewing in his frustration, he heard Ye Shu ask a question.
Hey boss, you planning to pull an all-nighter?
What's up?
If you're pulling an all-nighter, you stay here. I'll head to the smoking area.
If you go sit in the smoking area, then who's really on duty here? You or me?
Oh, then maybe you should find another seat, boss. I thought you didn't like the smell of my smoke.
Hearing this, Chen Guo's eyes welled up with tears. He knew full well she was looking out for him, but why did he feel so unwanted? Meanwhile, Ye Shu already had a cigarette pack in hand, signaling to Chen Guo that it was decision time. Either sit here and cover his shift, or go play somewhere else.
Alright, forget it. I'm going to bed.
Chen Guo angrily quit the game, got up, and stormed off.